let's go ahead and talk B-ball here. This WVU basketball team went out and got a big win. Got a big win over Cincinnati, a road win, 59-54. Huge come-from-behind win. They were down 14 points at one time in the game. They looked abysmal. I was upset. Every fan on social media was upset. I actually was going to turn the game off at one point. I was so frustrated. I told my wife, I said, I can't watch this mess. It's a dumpster fire. They look horrible. Then a young man by the name of Huff does his thing. He steps up, scores, I think, 12 or 14 straight points in a row, went on fire from three, single-handedly almost, brings this team back. And I'm gonna give you some of my takeaways. First, let's go ahead and talk about the stats, though, real quick. You can kind of see them on your screen. But West Virginia shot 44%, Cincinnati only 36%. West Virginia shot 29% from three to Cincinnati's 30%. Only shot 52% from free throw range, but they continue to not put their opponents on the free throw line. Free throw shooting, yes, they need to shoot better, no doubt about it. And at some point, it will hurt them in games. But if you can continue to only put your opponent on the line 9 times or for 9 shots, and you're making 11, that's a pretty good recipe for winning, even if you're shooting badly. I mean, you need to do better than 52 stinking %. But, man, when you make 11 and your opponent only shoots 9, it's pretty darn good. Each team turned it over 12 times. Points off turnovers, 13 for the Mountaineers, 10 for Cincinnati. Cincinnati out-rebounded them by 1, 34-33. By 1 on the offensive glass, 11-10. Each had 18 second chance points. Now, bench points was a huge difference for West Virginia, 18 points, in large part because of DJ Thomas, who came off the bench to put in 14 points in only 23 minutes. Great performance by that young man. Points in the paint, 26-18 in favor of West Virginia. So, Huff, when he wasn't shooting threes, he was doing a good job distributing the basketball. They put him at point guard a little bit, which we'll talk about later. Fast break points, 4-2. 5 blocks by Cincinnati, none by West Virginia. And then steals, it was 5-4 in favor of the Mountaineers. Anyway, it was only tied 3 times. There were only 3 lead changes. And Cincinnati led for 29 minutes and 35 seconds, yet West Virginia led when it mattered at the end and came out with a 5-point victory. I talked about DJ Thomas with 14 points on 4 of 6 shooting, was 2 of 4 from 3. Also had 2 rebounds. And then you've got Huff, 16 points, all in the second half. 3 of 6 but he went 3 of 6 from the foul line, which is not good. 3 of 8 from 3, which will take all day long, and was 5 of 11 from the floor. Had a couple really good, nice penetrations to the basket and hit that little leaner that he likes to do, or the little runner. Also had 2 rebounds and dished out 6 assists. Who knew? Huff, the point guard. Great move by Ross Hodge to put him at point guard. If you're having trouble getting him the basketball and you've got somebody that can handle it, then put him at the point guard spot. And that's what he did. And boy, did he do a great job. He answered the bell. Brennan Lorient had 11 points and 2 rebounds. You'd like to see him rebound the ball a little better, but he did have 11 points on the day. Jasper Floyd, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Another good performer of the day was Amir Jenkins. Only put in 2 points, but, man, he just does the little things well. His defense has improved tremendously. He had 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He just seems to run. He's getting better and better at running the offense. And let's keep remembering, this young man should be in high school right now. He reclassified and went to school a year earlier than he was supposed to. So hats off to him. Harlan Obeilha, 5 points, 6 rebounds. And then you've got Trayson Eaglestaff with only 3 points on 1 of 6 from 3 and 5 rebounds to go along with an assist. So there's your overall. And for Cincinnati, your leading scorer was Jizzle James, had 18. Miller had 15 to go along with 8 rebounds. So those are your top 2 performers for the Bearcats. And Day Thomas had 9 points and 3 rebounds. So he had a pretty decent day as well. Sincere Harris, the former Mountaineer, had 3 points, 3 rebounds. Also turned it over 3 times. And by the way, Jizzle James turned it over 4 times. For West Virginia, You had nobody turn it over that many times, but you had everybody turning it over, almost everybody turning it over at least once, just about. So they turn it over more as a team. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and talk about the takeaways. My takeaways from the game, and one of those is takeaways, turnovers. West Virginia has got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball. They just cannot continue to turn it over 12, 13, 14 times a game. When you are a team who prides yourself on limiting possessions in a game, you cannot turn the ball over that many times. It just absolutely kills you. And this team continues to struggle with that. Now, they didn't turn it over as much in the second half. Some of that could be due to Honor Huff. Now, if I'm Ross Hodge, I'm pulling the strings and doing that again in the next game. I'm putting Honor Huff at point guard. Now, I may not do it the whole game because you need to keep the opponent off balance a little bit. Now, teams are going to see that they put it on tape, and teams are going to be able to prepare for that a little more. So he might have to switch things up again. And you may not start the game out that way. You might see how the game goes to start off. But this game on Saturday is huge, or Sunday rather, is huge. You have Texas Tech, a ranked team coming into your building. An opportunity for you to get another quad one win. Now, I thought West Virginia only had one quad one win. Again, it was against Kansas, but apparently Arizona State, based on what I read from Andrew Corbett over at 24/7 Sports, Arizona State has now moved into quad one because they are now a top 75 team in the country. So now West Virginia has two quad one wins on their resume. And there's a chance for Cincinnati, if they can improve, start winning some more games, they could actually move into quad one as well. So that would give West Virginia, 4 quad one wins if that happens, if they can stay there. So West Virginia has an opportunity to go out and get another quad one win, another big, huge win against Texas Tech on Sunday in Morgantown. Mountaineer Nation, for those of you who can go to the game, those of you who live close, try to be loud, and just do your thing. Do what Mountaineer Nation does. Mountaineer Maniacs, do your thing. Be loud. This team's going to need you because Texas Tech is no slouch. They're a really good basketball team. It's going to be an interesting battle because you've got Ross Hodge, who is mentored a big part of his career by Grant McCasland, the coach at Texas Tech. They run a similar defense, similar mentality. It'll be very, very fun. It'll be a kind of a fun little chess match to see can the student outcoach the teacher, right? It'll be interesting to see. I mentioned turnover slow. The slow start continues to plague this basketball team. I don't know if it's a mindset that they come out with no focus. Are they thinking too much? I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I'm not inside the locker room. But this team, whatever it is, they've got coaches. The coaching staff has to figure out a way to get this team to start faster. I know when I coached, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. I used to make my kids. I tried not overexerting my kids a lot during warm-ups. And sometimes they seemed to come out a little sluggish. So there were times I said, hey, we're going to do some jumping jacks. I had them do jumping jacks and exercising over on the sidelines before the game. Had them running back and forth a little bit, trying to get their heart rate up a little bit. But, like I said, it doesn't always work. But sometimes it's just a mental thing with the players, a mental block. They've got to get past that because these slow starts, it hurt them against Baylor. It almost hurt them against Kansas State, and it just almost hurt them again against Cincinnati. But when you play teams like Texas Tech and BYU, who's coming up on the schedule as well, you cannot have these slow starts against those teams. Even UCF. You have got to start better or you're going to get blown out of the gym. So West Virginia needs to start better. If they can start better, build some confidence, I think it can even help their shooting a little bit because they've been struggling to put the ball in the basket. Heck, even Honor Huff had not made a shot, a field goal had not made a point the entire first half. The team, as a team, they were 0 for 9 from 3, yet they still figured out a way to win that game because they come out and played good in the second half. So hats off to them there. I mentioned the turnovers again. Honor Huff needs to continue playing point guard more. I kind of talked about that. He's a spark for this team, man. When Honor Huff is shooting the ball well and playing well, the entire team is better on both ends of the court. It's amazing to me. You see you can sit back and watch this team, and this is not really probably. I think this kind of goes for any team, but you can sit back and watch this team play. You see a shot go in the basket. You see another shot going to basket. Then all of a sudden, boom, then they start locking down even tighter on the defensive end of the court. It changes their whole mindset, their whole mentality. But that's what Honor Huff brings to the table. He's the spark plug for the basketball team. I think Tracy Eaglestaff needs to be more aggressive. Trace and Eaglestaff is still, to me, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't know that Trace and Eaglestaff is a great fit offensively for what Ross Hodge likes to do. And I think Trayson is still – he still doesn't always seem – some games he seems very comfortable, and others he don't. But I'd like to see Trayson get back to doing what he does. Be more aggressive. Don't be afraid to take a guy off. He can take guys off the dribble because he has great body control, knows how to use his body. He's a very high IQ player. Use that, man. Take a guy to the basket. And when you're open, shoot it. Now, he did shoot the ball when he was open last night. He just wasn't making it. But he has a tendency to stop shooting the ball and stop even being aggressive when he's missing his shots. Don't do that, man. Especially when Honor's cold like he was to start the game. Trayson needs to be that guy. And he needs to be more aggressive. And I'd like to see him do that more often going forward because he has the ability to do it. Now, he's doing other things to help the team, like rebounding the ball, playing good defense. But I'd like to see him get more aggressive with the ball in his hands, especially when Honor's not hitting his shots. And then finally, the team continues to give great effort. This is a positive. This team continues to give great effort. They're hustling back on defense. You saw Honor Huff going straight up, with the vertical. The announcers even, King McClure even mentioned it on the broadcast. Loves to see guards go straight up vertically on defense like that. Stop the transition basket by Cincinnati, or a possible transition basket. They did it a few times last night because of their hustle. I really, as frustrated as I get sometimes, I still love the guys on this team. They seem to be really good guys. They seem to be bought in and doing what Coach Hodge wants them to do. They seem to be bought into winning for West Virginia, the program, the state, the fans. And I love that about them. And I've embraced them. I think they've embraced us. And I want to make sure that we never forget that. This is a good group of young men. And I wish them nothing. Yes, they frustrate me at times. Yes, I get mad at them at times as a fan watching it. But they still have the opportunity to get into the NCAA tournament. The margin for error is very slim, like Jonathan and I talked about on the Gold and Blue Breakdown show over at the WV Sports Chat YouTube channel, by the way. Go check it out. It used to be Hoops from the Hills. But he and I were talking about that. Their margin for error remains to be very slim. And they had to win that game against Cincinnati, in my opinion. That's a game you have to win if you want to make the NCAA tournament. They got it done. Wasn't pretty, but they got it done. I'm happy about that. So, again, proud of the team for the effort, proud of the team that they didn't quit. They were able to come back. Coach Hodge and his staff made a few tweaks, but they have got to figure out a way to get better offensively as a team. Maybe putting Honor Huff at point guard is what does that. I don't know. We'll see going forward. They've got to start faster. But at the end of the day, you don't apologize for a win. You take it. You move on to the next one, and it's going to be a tough one with Texas Tech coming into town on Sunday.